Welcome everyone to this installment. This is actually part 2 of the video that I did earlier on the motorcycle. If you may remember, I was testing to see if the battery was actually any good and did not realize that the card was full, which means that a lot of that footage is now going to have to be refilmed by me. But hang tight with me because you're about to see all of that. And dare I say it, I think I have some things for you that you're going to like very much. So here we go. Ride with me. It is, oh goodness, it's the 24th of November, 2025, which means on Thursday is Thanksgiving. So, if I have not said so already, happy Thanksgiving to you. And, oh, hang on. Because it is late in the afternoon, I figured that you might like to see some of my area. Well, not that area, but some of the places that I drive so that, actually, what am I saying? You know that already. That's what the last videos have been. So sit back, relax, and open up your ears and open up your eyes, because some of the things that you're going to see, you're going to go, mmm. So anyway, here we go. Now, whoops, uh-oh, there we are. Now then, yay, engine is running, yay! All right, let's see. What sort of error messages do we have today? I can now... There we go, it is time to Narfle the Garthok. And if you know what movies that's from, then 10 points to you. Now, I am going to not waste any time. I'll pick up where we left off. You have been told by me, if I remember correctly, where it cut us off. I was mentioning how you can afford to do stuff. Okay? And, of course, there's lots of ways that you can afford to do stuff. There's no silver bullet. Everybody has their own... Oh, Zira, get that thing out of the floor. Everybody has their own, numbers that they have to deal with, and that's fine. I understand that. This is just a quick counter to get you to maybe analyze your own. Oh, hello. Yes, the other lane is yours. Anyway, it's just a quick counter to get you kind of to look at what your numbers are. So I seem to remember seeing in the edit, because I did edit the last one together, and remember that we got to the point of talking about how you can set aside some numbers, and I wanted you to grab something to write on, and that's kind of where we stopped, because I ran out of basically the camera, the modern equivalent of it running out of film. SD card filled up, But anyway, getting back to that. Get something to write on, and get something to write with. It doesn't matter what it is, because you're just jotting down notes. Now, I do want you to use something that actually requires you to write. Because, yes, you can take dictation on your phone. Yes, you can type it in, text it to yourself, etc., etc. If that works for you, then that's great. Go for it. But for your mental purposes, it's you writing it down will actually... this is, by the way, psychobabble. You writing it down will register it in your brain more readily than any other device, because it has to involve so many other skills as well, because you're using your motor skills with your hand to aim the pen across the paper, etc., etc., as well as the skill of actually having the thought in the first place and going through the trouble of memorizing it long enough to write it down. And that's where using pen and paper is an it excels, because there's no it's not quick enough. it gives your brain a chance to actually snag the moment and the information and actually process it. It slows you down a little bit so that you can process it, and that's the key. So that's why I want you to use, preferably, the same stuff that you would probably use in school. Grab you an 8.5 by 11 letter size piece of paper and some kind of pen. Doesn't really matter what it is. Now here's the reason why I'm asking you to do that. Oh my God, the sky is beautiful. The sky is beautiful. I do hope that you will get a chance to see it from where I sit. I wonder if I could go down the little fire road for the police department. Oh yes. I'm gonna let you see this because this is beautiful. I like looking at nice pretty skies. There we go. This is as far as I dare go on the police and fire route, because it says no trespassing, violators will be prosecuted. But as long as I don't pass by this sign, then that means it's like it's like playing a game at home. It's like home base, you can't get me. You'll never take me alive, copper. Anyway, getting back to the subject at hand, and I'm going to continue to drive until it gets dark, and after which I will also continue to drive, but hopefully the film will be done by then. Anyway, what time is it? Ooh, 5:27, so sunset here is around 6 o'clock. This should be fun. Anyway, the pen and paper. Write down a list. I want you to write down a list of everything that you have to pay out money for. Doesn't matter what it is. I just want you to write it down. Put line after line, line item. Just write down what it is. It doesn't even have to be terribly specific. You can put anything in there. I mean, whatever comes to mind first, that's what needs to go on the paper first, and then the one that goes under that needs to go. Go in order based on what your brain believes is, the order that you should go in. Okay. And I want you to just go ahead and do that. You about ready? How many line items have you got? 10? 14? 22? 37? What? Never really been into football very much, so if I got the terminology wrong, please forgive me. But anyway, oh, look at the sky! Oh, it's a pink sky. Oh, the sky is a pink. Oh, rookie. Oh, it's a very beautiful. Oh, rookie. Oh, orange sunset. Oh, rookie, orange sunset, very beautiful. Alright. Now, forgive me for going through the motions and getting banned from Chinese restaurants forever. I guess in a little while I'll have some egg drop soup and, I don't know, maybe some you know what? It has actually been a while since I've had. It has been a while since I've had some sweet and sour pork. I might go do that this afternoon. Anyway, your list. Back to that. There are, getting away from the distractions, but there are. Your list has however many line items it has is fine. Because everybody's different. Everybody has stuff on their list that, other people don't have, and vice versa. Now that you have your list, the next thing that you will need to do is go back to the top of the list, and now I need you to assign a number of what you are actually paying out each month. I want you to be honest with yourself. Every single line item, whatever it is, whether it be rent, whether it be car payment, whether it be insurance, whether it be going out to AAA, any any of those line items. Just, put what you actually spent last month next to the item that you just wrote down. Okay? And that's everything. That's phone bill, that's groceries, that's gasoline for the car, that's anything. I mean, maintenance for the car, maintenance for the house, maintenance for you, maintenance for the dog, whatever, it doesn't matter. Put your numbers down. Okay? I'm gonna wait for you to do that. Okay, now that we've done that, I want you to go through. You've gone to you've made it all the way to the bottom, I take it. So now what you're going to do is put a line at the very bottom of the page, and you're going to add all of your line items together and come out with a total at the bottom. You see what I'm doing? You're going to have all of your stuff added up underneath. It's going to be at the bottom of the page. Now, if it took you 2 pages, that's fine. Run it down all the way to the bottom of the next page, or what have you, because some people take 3 pages, etc. Now that you've done that, okay, you now have a total at the bottom, right? Okay. That is for the month. Those are your monthly payments, yes? Okay. Now, what is that number? Is it 3,000? 4,500? 8K? I know everybody's different. I mean, comment down below what you actually have. Put it in the chat. What is your total outlay every month? Okay? Don't be shy. We're not all, we're not judging here. This is a case of taking numbers and reworking them so that they work. You just follow me. You'll see what I mean. Okay. Now, the next thing you're going to do, after you look both ways at the stop sign and accelerate through, is now I want you to look at the item that's at the very bottom of the list. How important is it to you? Can you do without it? How hard did you have to think about it to remember that you had it and that you had to put it at the bottom of the list because I told you to? Could you do without it for a month? Could you do without it for a year? Could you remove it entirely from your life and never do it again? I mean, could you? Let's say for a moment that it's Netflix or some streaming service or a Roku or whatever, okay? Do you really need it? If you have to justify it, then justify it to yourself. But if you have to justify it, then why on earth did it end up at the bottom of the list? Ask yourself that. What do you really use it for? Okay. Now that you've figured out what's at the bottom of the list, I want you to go to the next item up the list and go, that's an interesting thing on the bottom of the list that's above the very bottom of the list. What I want you to do is go through the list, and I want you to start at the bottom and work your way up to the top. I want you to put a check mark next to the item if you absolutely cannot do without it. If you can do without it, God, look at that sunset. Wow. Ford truck ruined it for some of us, but anyway, there it is. Go through all of your line items. Start at the bottom, work your way up to the top. I don't want you to judge them or anything right now. All I'm just trying to do is have you go through them, justify it to yourself. Can you eliminate it from your life? Is it that important? If you have to have it, put a check mark by it. I'll give you a minute to do that. Okay, now, I'm assuming that some of you have longer lists than others, and some of you have worked your way up to the list and are still struggling. I'll give you a hint. If you have to think about it for more than 15 seconds, you don't need it. You have to think about it for more than 15 seconds, you don't need it. Now, you've gone up through your list, right? And you've checked off everything that you absolutely have to have. What are the ones that didn't get checked off? It might surprise you. What are they? And if they didn't get checked off, how come they didn't end up at the very bottom of the list? Think about it. Now that you've gone through that part, you've got your items that are checked off as absolute must-haves. Okay? Now, I know some of them are obvious. I mean, you can't go through life without eating. I mean, you gotta have food. You gotta have groceries. You gotta have a roof over your head, more than likely. I mean, not very many people are very good at living in their car. So, food, lodging, and some kind of transportation so you can get back and forth to work and, accomplish stuff in this wonderful life that we live. Okay? Now, take all of your items that you have checked off, right? And I want you to look at them one at a time, okay? And look at them and see if they are an adjustable figure. Now, here's what I mean by that. Your rent, for example, is not adjustable unless you, let's say, move into a smaller place or a place that has cheaper rent for whatever reason. It's further away from the city center, it's out in the country, or the landlord is in a better financial position and is, not charging as much to you because, some actually are. So there's that. But then others you could play with the numbers a little bit. Like, for instance, a lot of people do this with car insurance. They will actually have a different car insurer after it's all said and done. Shopping around, stuff like that. You gotta have coverage, but you don't necessarily have to pay an arm and a leg for it. Now, all of the items that you have went through and said, okay, I can adjust this by, right? Let's look at the ones that are a little more flexible. For example, entertainment. What do you do for entertainment? Well, in my particular instance, entertainment is very easy to do. Because right now, I am being entertained just by doing this for you. Okay? Right now, I am spending... Oh, goodness, what is gasoline out here? Gasoline out here is like $2.69 a gallon right now. And I am burning it away at the rate of... Oh, my goodness. Look at that over there. It's so pretty. Oh, my God, the sky is beautiful. Will you get a better shot of it? I hope so. Oh... I gotta take you to one of these days I gotta take you to a high spot where it's really, really, really obvious and there aren't any trees in the way. All told, I think this is not bad. I mean, I think you're seeing, I believe that this is beautiful countryside, but anyway. So now you've got all of your things that you've checked off. You've got them adjusted, right? You've went through and said, well, I can adjust this way. by the way, I want you to watch this video through to the end so that you can get all the instructions, basically. And then if you have to come back and watch it again as a kind of a reference as you're trying to do it, please do so. I welcome it. You know, this is... I want to see y'all benefit from this just as much as, you know, if I were to use it for myself, which I have, that you would be able to benefit from it for yourself also. Okay. Now, you have in front of you your check-marked items, and you have adjusted them. Those adjustment numbers, put them one column over. Imagine that your paper has columns. I don't know if you used one with columns, but just imagine for a moment that it does. And put them in the next column over to the right. You'll probably end up in roughly the middle, maybe 3/4 of the page, but that's okay. And put those numbers down, the adjusted numbers now. And this is only on the line items that you have checked off as being absolutely necessary. Now, I want you to make a new total at the bottom of those new adjusted numbers. Just the adjusted numbers. Don't add anything else to it. Just your adjusted numbers from the items that you have deemed absolutely necessary. Go ahead and add those up. I'll wait. Now, you've got them added up, yes? Look at your two totals. How far off are they? How much of a difference is it? Is it $100? Is it $300? Is it $1,000? I mean, for some people, it'll be $1,000. I mean, there will be people like, wow, I can't believe I spent that much. Now, here's the thing, is that some of this stuff that you are adjusting yourself with, right? Actually, that didn't sound right. Some of this stuff that you are looking at and going, okay, I didn't really need that, I can check off there. I didn't really need that, I can check off there. You know, and of course, make that noise every time you do it. You know, it feels good to do that sort of thing. You go, well, yeah, I had 14 on my paper the other day. I went 14 times. It was great. You know, my wife could only do it 12 times. You know, and then I'm only kidding. I never did this with her. Anyway, getting back to that subject, where are your numbers? How far off are they? So now that you've found that, you've got that in front of you, those are your numbers, whatever that difference is, okay? Whatever that difference is in that life adjustment number that you just did, because that's what you just did. That is a life adjustment number. You have just declared to yourself, I can live off of this new number. That's what you just did, without realizing it. So since you, oh doggy, stay out of the road. Oh my God, they're adorable. Oh, puppies. Anyway. Forgive me for burping a little bit. I had Doritos. Actually, no, I didn't. I have to be honest. I did not have actual Doritos. I had the store brand copycat Doritos that are half the price because I am not willing to pay $6.49 for a frickin' 11-ounce bag of frickin' tortilla chips that are covered in fake powder cheese. I refuse to do it, Frito-Lay. I'm talking to you, Frito-Lay. I am not paying for your nonsense anymore. I will now pay for someone else's nonsense. Haha. Anyway. The difference. Now, are you... I'll ask you this. Looking at the difference between the two numbers, are you shocked by that? I was. When I did it, I was. Now, I want to ask you a question, and you can put it in the comments too. Put all of this, whatever answers you come up with, feel free to share it. I love this stuff, You have the adjustment number in front of you. How much more can you dig out of it? And here's what I mean by that. I'm going to give you a personal example now. But first I'm going to turn and have you look at the horizon. So pretty. Wow. I think I'm going to get a different camera mount that goes up higher so that way you can see it better. Because something tells me that this camera doesn't go up high enough. Just a hunch. If you'd like to drive this road, this is State Line Road that I'm on. It weaves back and forth on the state line, which is why it's called State Line Road. We will cross over into Alabama in a moment, but we'll only be there for a mile or two, and then we'll cross back over into Georgia. It does this a couple of times as you drive. But anyway, enough about that. My next question to you is this. What all do you do? Like, for instance, your groceries. When you buy your groceries, where do you go? Do you bounce back and forth between different stores, or do you go to just one? Do you buy the store brands, or do you buy the regular brand, like the one that's advertised where everybody knows it? What are your preferences? The reason why I asked that question is because bukus of dollars can be saved there. Bukus and bukus of dollars can be saved there. My God, what a view. Look at all of that. I think I'm going to turn around and get that view on the way back. Look at all that. That's marvelous. That's fantastic. I don't know if this is coming across in the video footage that you are seeing, but I just looked at that and was like, my God, that's beautiful. Anyway, so here's my personal example. In the not too distant past, I would buy name brand everything. It didn't matter. Didn't matter to me. I felt like I was doing good. I felt like if I had any overages, I could just put it on a credit card and it wouldn't be a big deal. I got into a bad habit of eating out more often than I could really afford. It was bad. I didn't see it at the time, but looking back on it now, I wasn't doing so hot. Not that I really am now, but at least I'm better. I'm not doing quite as badly as I was. Alright. I think what I'm going to do now is a couple of things. I'm going to move over and let this guy go by. Actually, I think, let's go exploring. I've never been down this road before. You want to go down this road? Let's go down this road. Never been down it before. If it's a problem, I can always turn around. That's what steering wheels are for. Oh, look at that. The road surface changes. Hint, hint. Guess where we are? Enter Cleburne County. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, like I said, it dances back and forth on the state line. Now we're in Alabama. Quite nice. Quite nice. Anyway. Oh no! Please say that you're still doing this. Damn it. There we go. I might have to edit that out. Yes, join. It's like I went into a frickin'... Damn it. busy recording. Got it. Okay, perfect. So it hasn't stopped. You're still recording with me. You still have me. Perfect. So what I shall do then is I'm going to continue on. We'll just continue on. Anyway. Wow. Something tells me I'm going to get to the end of this road and have to turn around. Like it's, you know, it's almost like I've got no business being out here, but it's a free country. Anyway, back to my own personal example. I used to buy brand name everything, pretty much. I mean, there were a few things where I wouldn't, but it was like, okay, I must have this, must have that, etc., etc. These days, no. I buy my shirts from Tractor Supply, and they're the cheap $6 ones that, you know, they have a nice color to them, they have a nice material, they feel good, they fit good, and I don't really have to think anything else of it. You know? Same with the jeans. They're the same ones that I've had for years. You know? When I go shopping at the grocery store, I do not do the, you know, I don't do the typical, I'm going to go name brand for everything. It's not necessary. Okay, now I have no idea what this road is. I've never been here before. But because, oh no, wait a minute. County Road 49, no way. This road's on the route, and I should turn right to go back, but if I turn left, look over there. Oh my goodness. That's like a, wow. Wow. Okay. Forgive me for having a Bob Ross moment, but that really is like, that really is the Lord's colors right there. He's just being an artist. That was fantastic. We're going to see more of it as we go around this next corner, I imagine. So anyway, more to it is I have these habits of, yeah, more. Goodness gracious, look at that. I hope you can see it, because I've lost my Bluetooth screen. It no longer Bluetooths. Its teeth have turned green. Oh, I've been here before. In case you're wondering, I have been here before on the route. This is one of our. I'm going to take a guess. Well, I think about which shop is out here that I've been here before. Anyway, whatever. Going back to what it was that I was trying to cover. Ranburne, Alabama. Okay, cool. That explains why yep, I know where I'm at. I know where I'm at. Anyway. There are, where was I going with this? There are other things that you can do to reduce your outlay of cash every month. I mean, let's be real here. You don't necessarily have to, you don't necessarily have to buy a TV subscription if it's on a television that you're never going to watch. I mean, you know, how often do you actually watch TV? Can you justify paying for that? I bet you about half of you out there don't use it often enough to justify what you're paying for it. And of course I'm rambling because I don't know your personal situation. And nor do I need to. It's not a, you know, I don't need to be nosy. But know that you have a method in front of you that will allow you to alter what it is that you are doing so that you are paying less for it, or paying less for life, rather. Because, you know, why pay too much? I mean, that's just silly. Yep. Here we are. For all of my local yokel buddies that know this route, comment down below what road I just come off of. Yes, friends. Anyway. Oh my goodness, Becca's Shine Shack is still open. What time is it? Oh, that's right, we're on out. I forgot. Okay, it's we're on Central Time at the moment, and that's why she's still open, because right now it's 3 minutes to 5 Central Time, not Eastern Time. Anyway, get back off of that. Yeah. Anyway, you can do this. I believe in you. Okay? Now, as we're still traveling, because I am going to leave this on until I'm done talking my point, because we are approaching the point at which the camera does not do well because it's dark. So I'm going to make this quick, and I'll leave it with you. Okay? You can calculate how much it is that you have for a day. Okay? And I'll get to this in the third video. The part 3, in other words. Yes, there's a part 3. This is going to be one of those multi-parts where I talk about different things in different ways that you can actually, you know, run your money together and go, hey, you know. But know this, you have a certain number of dollars per day. And you can think yourself into a pattern that will allow you to stay on task, that will prevent you from overspending. You can do that. Everybody can. Everybody has that. It's a human capability. I mean, it's a math problem. It's not hard. So let's suppose for a moment that you are, let's see, let me do some math in my head. Let's suppose for a moment that you have a take-home pay every 2 weeks of $1,400. And so let's say that that's your take-home pay. Well, do some math, reverse engineer it. What is every 2 weeks? Every 2 weeks is 14 days. Okay? Now, what that actually means is $1,400 across 14 days. That means that's $100 a day. That's what you actually have to work with. $100 a day. Now, apply that to your expenses. What are you spending every day? Is it going over $100? Is it going well over $100? Or is it staying underneath? If you're trying to make things workable, then you want to be well underneath that. Well underneath. And I'm sure that some of you will chime in the comments, well, why don't you just make more money? Well, of course you could do that. Everybody could always do that. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is that you put yourself into a mental capacity to where you are not overdoing it. This is a case of hacking into your own mind. This isn't necessarily just the dollars. This is a case of breaking through that cycle of ordering a combo instead of just the sandwich because you've been brainwashed into believing that that is the thing to do. Do you really need those French fries? No. Do you really need the big gulp? Don't know, but probably not. I mean, look at it this way. A big gulp is 44 ounces most places, right? How big's your bladder? It's not that big, is it? You ever wonder why after you've eaten a large meal, you have to go to the bathroom right away? There you go. Incidentally, large meal. How large is your stomach? Did you know that the human stomach can expand? And it does on a regular basis? This means that you can actually overeat and your body won't explode. But that doesn't mean you should. Now, the other thing that I would suggest to you is mentally, how do you control your wallet output every day? You know that you've got yourself a daily limit set, right? You did that just a couple of minutes ago. You said $100 a day. Boom. Shall not spend over that today. So, how are you holding yourself to that standard? In fact, if you all are already holding yourself to that standard, comment down below. Tell everybody else how you're doing it, because I love seeing that stuff. And everybody needs to have that whole, hey, that's a it's a everybody's sharing ideas. It's like, oh, that's a great idea. I'll try that. This is how ideas travel. But the point is that if you can basically hack into your own mind and hack into your own behavior, you can actually change personal habits. Because what is a personal habit? It's a default behavior. Well, what is it? Well, that's fine. What is a default behavior? Anybody out there? Commented it down below. A default behavior is what your brain does by default because it has had that repetition, that practice, that memory, basically, that has allowed it to do it with such precision, such repeatability, that it makes no odds to the human brains that you do it again. If I were to tell you that I struggle with brushing my teeth every morning because it was never instilled as a necessary habit when I was young, then you would probably look at me and say, oh no, you're crazy, man. You got all your natural teeth. You haven't ever, you haven't ever been to the dentist, etc., etc. Yeah, I get that, and that is true. I think I've only been to the dentist a couple of times in my lifetime, and that was for a couple of insurance cleanings when I was younger. I think one time was when I was, I don't know, I must have been 10 or 11, and then the other time that I went was while I was a teenager. I think I was in high school at that particular point, but anyway, that's not relevant to that. This part of the argument. What is relevant is the fact that because it was not installed in me as a habit, as a absolute must happen every single day, that means that the brain never registered it
as a repeat. It registered it as a, you'll do it when you want. You'll do it when it fits. You'll make time when it needs to. There was no structure. It was not, well, I'm going to do it because it's 7 o'clock and now is the time to do it. There was no, it wasn't repeatable in that sense. So as a result, and this is my own self-awareness now, as a result, my brain never actually did it, which means that even today, as a 45, almost 46-year-old adult, I have to actually make it a point to actually brush my teeth in the evening before I go to bed or right after I wake up, etc. Sometimes I skip a day because I just go, I don't feel like it. I can't do this. I'm too helpless. And as a result of that, it's a wonder I still have my teeth at all. I know if my parents are watching this, they're probably going to be shocked. They're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe he's saying that. But it's true. Okay? Now, here's how you break that habit. You set yourself up so that your day cannot go without you doing these habits, whatever they are. In fact, that's one of the things that I'm personally working on, is that I have to find a way that works for me, that matches my schedule, that goes along with the parameters at home, that puts me in a position to be able to make these things happen every day. That's why it's taken me a week to put the camera back on the dashboard so I can talk to you guys, is because it's not a habit yet. Spacing out, this past weekend, instead of filming, because I'm relatively new at this part of it, instead of filming, I turned on one of the rideshare apps and I drove. I let people rent my back seat out. I actually made a halfway decent amount of money this past weekend as well, doing that. It's not great, it's not a fantastic amount of money, but it's a decent amount of money. It's enough to be worthwhile, is what I'm getting at. But that's the thing, is that you can make these habit-forming changes, or habit-changing changes. In order to change your standard operating procedure mentally, I've read up on this. This takes a while, okay? In order to change your standard operating procedure within your brain, you have to repeat the same procedure with absolute 100% repetition for at least 3 weeks. For some people, it's more like 3 months. But you have to do this, because those things, this procedure, this behavior will change your personal habit. It'll make things work for you rather than you having to work for them. And that's the key, because if you do not form it as a habit, then you will not repeat it. Let me say that again. If you do not form it as a habit within your own brain, then you will not repeat it. This means that in order for you to make this work, you've got to put it into your mind. I am going to concentrate on what have I spent already today? What kind of money do I have left? The reason I'm going to have you use your brain for this, if you're willing to learn and willing to go along with this, is that when you're in the moment, you're out there in the world, you're thinking, okay, I've got I've got a couple of extra minutes, I can go over here and I can buy that soda, or, and you know what, I'd like a candy bar right now, you know. But the question is that because it's a habit? Think about it. Chances are pretty good that you've formed that as a habit. That's why all of these companies are doing so well. I mean, seriously, all of the companies that make soda right now are just laughing their butts off at you and me and everybody else. Why? Because we can't break that habit. The companies that are making potato chips and candy bars, they are all laughing to the bank because we can't break that habit. Or can we? But if you tried hard enough, you could. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm still going to eat my fake Doritos, though. Anyway, see what I just did there? So, as it stands, now that I've kind of put you in this mode of thinking, right? Goodness, I think I'm going to... okay, there we go. Something tells me it's going to be better if I get back on a road that has some light, so this way you're not blinded by it. Or maybe I'll put... I'll put, at this point in time, since there's no real video, I'll put some, you know, fluffy bunny rabbits or something, you know, really nice to look at, you know, that you'll look at and go, oh, okay. So anyway, now that you've done that, you are looking at your numbers on your paper. Ask yourself this. What will it take to be successful at this? What will it take? Because I bet you it's easier than you're probably even thinking of it right now. I'll bet it's going to be a whole lot easier than you're already putting yourself there for. You're thinking, oh, I'm not so sure. This is a new thing. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I'm not going to listen to him. He sounds like a crackpot. No. Just giving you information. You do with it what you will. But I leave you with this. Okay? There's always a way, okay? And that said, there's always a legal way, okay? There is a legal way to do all of this, okay? Because some of you have probably already thought about it, like, well, he must be thinking that I need to steal stuff, or, you know, I need to not pay, and whatever. No, you can do this legally. You can do this legally. I have faith in you. I'm sure your mama has faith in you as well, right? So take that as it resonates. Now, this being a probably, I'm going to take a guess that we're at nearly the 1 hour mark now. So yeah, thereabout. Seeing as how I have almost no light to film with. This is fun. Anyway, I can't think if there's anything else that I need to tell you in this particular part. Golly. Okay, I'm going to probably have to blind out all of those headlights because that probably blinded the crap out of you. I'm terribly sorry. When I do ones like this that are in the afternoon, I think I need to cut them a little shorter because that was really... That was a lot. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little journey into my line of thinking. If it has helped you, by all means, leave a comment, a like, subscribe, do clicky things all down low, you know. Let me know that you did, that you enjoyed this and that you can use it. And by all means, watch it again if you're needing, you know, procedural tips, right? Anyway, I think I'm going to let that be it for this evening. So, in closing, I would like to know, what sort of things do you already do to save money? Or do you bother to save money? Leave a one in chat down low, you know. Put it in the comments. Let us know, because, you know, knowledge is power, and if you have a method, by all means share it. I'd love to see it. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here, and I hope to see you soon. I guess the words are, I will see you whenever next time is. Have a good one.